A lot of Indians, a lot of Pakistanis, a lot of Bangladeshis, a lot of Sri Lankan SEOs are going to love this.
So one of the Indian newspapers printing something like 50 to 100 million visits a month. They made somewhere in the region of $5 to $10 million just from selling posts.
Do you think casino can be done via Parasite SEO?
100%, I've seen it. There's a ton of Indonesian government and educational websites that are being used for casino parasite.
Because they have the power.
They people.
Oh, really?
We have something like 4,500 sites for Japan.
Has been doing SEO since you were 12 years?
Yeah, I didn't invent Parasite SEO. Despite people claiming that I did not. My average Parasite SEO post would get 25 to 50,000 views.
Yeah, fair.
And I was sometimes posting them 2-3 times a day.
Crazy, weird niches you've tried on Parasite?
Like the tool costs between like $39 and like $250 a month. We've had some people and they're like, you need to charge more for this because I've just made one campaign that's made $20,000. Because of that system, we've been able to deliver links in 2 minutes. No.
You can see my pockets are empty. So, hey everyone, my name is Gundeep Singh, as you all know. And today I have a very special guest. He is Charles Floate and he's younger than me, by the way. And I'm very excited because he's quite a big deal in the industry. And I have a lot of memories, when I was learning. I think it was in 2015, 2016. It's been 10 years. And you were quite a celebrity at that moment in SEO. It's a very proud moment for me, from the guy who I used to learn from online, from forums and all the SEO forums in that back in the day in 2015, 2016. And today I'm sitting with the guy. So it's quite an achievement for me. and thank you for giving me this time, giving me this opportunity to be here. I must introduce Charles to you guys. Obviously everybody knows, but let's do a formal introduction. So Charles has been doing SEO and maybe optimizing websites since he was, I think, 12 years of age. Oh God, that's crazy. He has been founder of PressWiz.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And he is the guy known for Parasite SEO. Still today, in today's time, it's a hot deal. I would say to the audience that it's something which is never getting out of trend.
No.
We thought it is going out of trend in the last year. I thought it's out. It's not in the trend anymore. But then I saw his latest content and I was like, oh, it still works and it's working really well. So today we are here with him. We're going to talk about Parasite SEO, of course. We're going to talk about all other things, how his journey has been. So we're going to talk about practical things on SEO and Parasite SEO, but we're also going to talk about that what his mindset has been and how he actually reached this point of his career here in today's time. So let's get started. Charles, first, welcome. Anything you want to introduce yourself to the audience? Anything you want to mention? I
think you did a great job. I'm Charles Floate. Yeah, I'm CMO of PressWiz. I operate Charles Floate Training, ParasiteSEO.com, and a couple of other businesses as well. I also run my own family business with my parents and my grandfather.
Wow.
And that's grown to about 250 people as well in the UK. And I moved to Thailand about 10 years ago and have been based here ever since.
Perfect. Why Thailand, by the way?
So it was because of Matt Diggity, to be fair, actually.
Oh.
So he, before Chiang Mai SEO conference, he hosted a invite-only mastermind in 2016, I believe, or 2015 maybe it was. And essentially, a load of us flew in. We were supposed to be there for 2 weeks. I ended up staying there for 6 weeks and missing multiple flights back home.
Okay.
And my visa then expired and I had to go back to the UK. But I was in between living in Mexico at the time and the UK. So I decided, screw it, let's just make a leap and go and try the other side of the world this time in Asia. I never really looked back because the Chiang Mai community was so strong at the time. I would say there's less people now, but that was because of COVID, right? Like COVID just took a wipeout to a lot of people. They had to go back for various visa reasons, health reasons, things like that, right? But the people who have remained, they're bigger than ever, right? Like they've grown their businesses more than ever and they're succeeding more than ever. So the level of community in Thailand is great, but the level of community in Chiang Mai, there's nowhere else like it in the world.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing to know. I've met people here and they say that we cannot go back. We are so into the system now.
Yep.
The major reasons would be the weather, the cost of living. What is the main reason?
So if you're an entrepreneur, you can set yourself up very, very easily.
Okay.
So without a huge amount of money as well in capital, for a few $1,000s a month, you can have rent, a maid, eat out 3 times per day, not have to do your laundry, all of those chores and tasks and stuff that usually, to be fair, do take up a couple hours every day of the average person's life, right? You can just wipe that out and replace it with essentially paying for the same thing, but you cannot pay for that in the West to the same level. And I was hearing it the other day where people were saying, you know, the prices of just a burger, like a McDonald's burger has gone to like $15 for a meal or something like that, right? It's crazy with this inflation in the West.
Correct.
And we went for a meal here last night, and the entire meal was $15 for 4 of us.
Yes.
So you can't really have that same living style in the West that you can have here. So just the opportunity that it allows to free up your time when you're an entrepreneur is massive. Then you mix in the fact that you have this such a condensed population of entrepreneurs doing the same thing, that you're constantly going to networking events, somebody's house party, somebody's doing a presentation, somebody's doing a co-working event, right?
Wow.
And you will be able to do something every single week. And it feels like you're making progress because you're learning so much from other people that are, but a lot of people need to actually still implement that as well, right? Which there's a lot of people that listen and absorb and don't actually do the hard work. But if you're here and you want to absorb all that information and you want to put the time and effort in, it's probably one of the best places in the world to do that.
Perfect. That's true. That's true. I've made a lot of friends here and who are living here. One of them is Mukul, who knows you.
Mukul,
So he's the one who showed me around last year, and then I was in love with the city. It's like a congregation that a lot of the SEOs are here, I suppose, and the big good SEOs are here, right? Including you. You know, your company matters. And if someone is not doing well in the work or something, so there are low points, right, in their life. It's the people who can pull you up, right? And I think that's also something you get here in the environment, right?
If there's a big update that takes out a load of things, right, then everybody else who's doing the same thing, you can kind of have a little bit of a therapy session together, right? and be like, okay, let's come up with some ideas together and make us all feel a bit better, you know, and like not feel like we just got destroyed by Google's latest update or something.
Correct. Amazing. Okay, let's dive deep into the things. Let's talk about the main thing which I am really interested in talking about is Parasite SEO.
Yeah.
Why are you known for Parasite SEO? What is that Charles and Parasite SEO comes together? What is the reason?
So I didn't invent Parasite SEO, despite people claiming that I did. I did not. It was Eli from Blue Hat SEO in 2007. He coined it first in 2007, and it wasn't actually, again, his own invention. It was his analysis.
Okay.
So he'd found a bunch of affiliate spammers that were abusing EDU forum sites and EDU Web 2.0 blogs and things like that to rank for a load of affiliate offers. And actually, they were effectively using the same exploits to rank for the same offer over and over and over again. So this offer, if you searched it at the time of 2007, the entire SERP from 1 to 100 was controlled by this group.
Oh, God.
Every page was controlled by them using these exploits, right? So he released this blog post that went viral calling it Parasite, right? It wasn't necessarily Parasite SEO, it was Parasite pages, because you were leeching off of the authority of this huge, gigantic website. And in some cases, you might be leeching off of predetermined or pre-approved sites like .gov.edu and things that have a little bit of extra special treatment in the SERPs. So that blew up, became a very popular tactic. Google started cracking down on it. And then when the helpful content update happened, a lot of people thought that it was content related, right? It wasn't really that content related. It was more link and authority signal related, to be fair. So when Google devalued content signals, and I believe it was a lot to do with AI, a lot to do with all sorts of things, to be fair. It wasn't just the bloggers, it wasn't just the affiliates. When they did that, either they directly increased the link score, or because they devalued content, it just means that links are now weighted higher, even if they didn't necessarily increase the weighting. This signal is so important that when you devalue it, the next biggest signal becomes even more important. And I said the next biggest signal, links were always the biggest signal, to be fair. And as a result, authority just started taking off. So you could have any authority news website, any DR90 website, and it would rank for pretty much anything, right? And there was, the biggest case was Outlook India.
Yes.
Then it became, so one of the Indian newspapers, they were printing something like 50 to 100 million visits a month just to the one Parasite subfolder that they had. And they were selling most of those articles, right? It wasn't internal stuff. And we can estimate that they made somewhere in the region of $5 to $10 million just from selling posts at that time on their site. And then
even we bought some.
I bought loads, you know, like I will straight up tell everybody that. And I know a load of people that then, because I shared it on Twitter, bought even more than I did, you know, so it was just crazy. But that then evolved. So that one case study became a load of other sites. So the next big thing was Forbes.
Yes.
Forbes had a third-party company come in. They were called Marketplace. They came in and they created a subfolder on the site, /advisor, Forbes Advisor. It was a separate entity. And they created all these affiliate pages from everything from best car insurance to best health care for best pet cover, all these kind of things, right? They were basically taking over a lot of the biggest, most competitive SERPs. And it was starting to bleed into other results. They were starting to just pick up whatever they could. They were ranking for best CRM. They were ranking for some adult keywords. They were ranking for so many things, it was stupid. So Google ended up manually slapping them. And that then led to something called the Site Reputation Abuse Update, which was last year, 2024. So the Site Reputation Abuse Update basically made it so that if you were a publisher, you shouldn't use third-party writers on your website, right? Which was effectively the same thing as what Parasite was doing. The only problem was that update was the only update that I've ever heard about that was not an update. Because it didn't update the algorithm at all. It just updated the manual actions. So how they would go and execute those manual actions, now there's a new target for them. So they went and did a bunch of manual penalties, but only at the subfolder level. So previously, if you got a manual penalty, your entire website is just gone. This is the first time it's a subfolder level penalty, right? And that is, again, special treatment for publishers, maybe special treatment for bigger news subs, organizations, stuff like that, than your average affiliate or your average blogger who got wrecked in HCU. But as a result of that, the entire time, for that entire span, from the Outlook India thing to the Forbes Advisor thing, all the way through MarketWatch, all of them, right? There's loads of them. Even right now, I think AlabamaNews.com or something is ranking for best online scene in the US, which is crazy. There's a bunch of these kind of instances where I was probably the first one to share them. So I was the first one to share Outlook India publicly on Twitter. I was the first one to share Forbes Advisor's case study publicly on Twitter. And I was the first one to share a lot of this research over and over and over again. So it just blew up. Like my average Parasite SEO post would get 25 to 50,000 views on X and things like that. And I was sometimes posting them 2-3 times a day. You know? So it really kind of set itself up. And it was dominating so much that it allowed me to just share over and over again, because there were so many SERPs that were being taken over by Parasite pages. And a lot of people then credit me for giving them the inspiration to go and execute their own campaigns, which are extremely profitable. And so it kind of creates this circle of information. And it also helps that Eli himself, who was the original founder, he left SEO a fair few years ago. So he's not really talking that much to it anymore. So it means that I have kind of taken over the mantle from him, even though I will fully give credit to Eli for being the originator.
That's very generous. That shows your values. That's a very good thing. But do you think that this Parasite SEO game, like that was a crazy time? I remember that time, the MarketWatch time, we were doing Nutra at that point. And then we encashed it very well. It was a time when we did not used to run ads. We were like we were not required to run ads. Because we were eventually ranking very easily. We did not even have to pump up with just a few links to our post, and it was very good. So, but this was quite unfair, I think, for an average person who's trying to do a genuine work. And there was a time, you would agree, that these brands, like you mentioned about Forbes, a different entity, right? So these guys started to actually take over and started to make money. They understood, why not we do it, right? So, but I think that was a very crazy time. What do you think, was that the right thing to do? And still brands like Forbes or these companies are still doing it? Is it still happening?
So Forbes Advisor recovered, but they didn't fully recover. So they got back about 25% of their traffic. But we were estimating that they were making like $40 million a month or something from before. So even if they got 20 to 25% of that back, that's still $10 million a month.
Exactly.
Like, and it's a lot more revenue than I think the company itself was making even before. So when Marketplace actually started to really take off, they tried to buy Forbes. So the third-party company had enough money to buy the entire brand because of this work that they'd done inside of Forbes.
Wow.
So I don't really see the same level of risk and everything else that people see with that kind of thing. But I do see that a lot of the time, the majority of the time actually, those publishers just change subfolder. And they're immediately coming back anyway, right? Yes, they might lose some link value because they don't have the redirects in place and they can't do that because of the devalued subfolder and things like that. But they can just move the content to the subfolder and then regain 20%, 25% of their traffic.
Exactly.
And that's still good enough for their revenue. Even Outlook India right now, which is the most hit site in Parasite SEO, the most known site in Parasite SEO, Google specifically targeted them as heavily as they could. They're still ranking Parasite pages. But in South Korea, in other geos and things like that,
they've seen that money, I think.
Exactly, yeah. Why wouldn't you? You know, why would you ever go back?
Yeah, well,
they were probably losing money before as a newspaper. You know.
True. Who reads the newspapers?
Exactly.
Okay, this is on the brand side, right? Now let's talk about an average person like me. What was and what is right now the Parasite SEO scenario right now, and are there any opportunities right now in working in Parasite SEO to make kind of easy money?
Tons and tons of opportunities. There's loads of AI opportunities around all sorts of things, from like there's the more obvious ones around like AI girlfriends and boyfriends and like porn and things like that.
Correct.
They're very, very big niches, very popular, and arguably easy to rank with at the moment. There's not that much competition going on, but there's a bunch of niches that in general are kind of hype based. So they'll be very popular, right? You can think of stuff recently like Labubu's and stuff like that and things, right? But you can imagine that if you can be at the beginning of those trends when they take off and you can be the first one to rank, even if you're not the first one to rank at the end, you're still going to be riding that wave for quite a while and making a lot of money. So I always like at the moment kind of reactive campaigns, launch jacking, news jacking, stuff like that, especially with Parasite, because you can rank them tomorrow. Normally you can rank Parasite pages very, very fast, especially in comparison to your own website or your own new domains or something like that. That actually anything seasonal, anything fresh, anything that's happening in current, those are amazing opportunities to use Parasite for, because they rank really fast and they rank really high. Because they're just so high authority, right?
This is a very good idea. Just got with the conversation is that if there's something which is trending, and like usually a person like me would set up a website, do a lot of stuff, and then would try to encash over it, and the trend is gone.
Exactly.
It happens, especially in the event blogging.
Yep, 100%.
We are from the time of the event blogging, from the back in the day, 2016, 2017 was the time. But this is, I think, an opportunity which can be encashed over on this kind of thing. But don't you think this is a churn and burn model?
100%, because the pages will eventually get burned, right?
Yes.
But the aim is that you make like 10,000% ROI on each page or something, right? So it doesn't really matter that much, because it's an investment that you're getting such high returns from that it's not even necessarily possible in other markets and things to do the same thing with. That you just use that cash to repeat the cycle over and over again, and hopefully you're making good enough profit to keep growing into even more niches, even more pages every single month.
Even more, finding more Parasite websites.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, the more you rank stuff, the more you'll start seeing other pages that you can then start using yourself and things as well. So the more you're in the SERP, the more you see, you know,
because you get that kind of when you see numbers, you cannot go back. That's for sure. And I would say it's kind of a model where it's kind of an army, which is like going and dying in the war zone, and then you're preparing the new army. It's like
a lot of people actually use it to like test niches. So they'll be like, okay, let's see how much we can make from this niche in the first place, and then we'll go and invest you know, we'll invest $1,000 to test the niche with a Parasite page. If it works, we'll invest 100,000 in our own campaign to build a website and properly go into that niche, you know, build a brand. But a lot of the people who are using it to the more successful thing, it's literally just churn and burn. You're just replacing pages every month, basically.
Correct. Can you tell me any crazy, weird niches you've tried on Parasite?
Yeah, YouTube might block this, you know, if we start talking about some of them.
That's okay.
There's a bunch of very weird niches, you know, like bleaching. is
Mhm.
one. So like
Mhm.
people like bleach all sorts of parts of their body that you wouldn't think they did.
Okay.
And that can do very, very well.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of other quite
Mhm.
strange niches out there
Mhm.
around like healthcare
Mhm.
and supplements and all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But supplements especially are generally quite hammered.
Mhm.
In terms of random other niches, there's just all sorts of things that you don't think about, right? Like we had, as one example, years and years ago, we set up a ride-along lawnmower
Yeah.
campaign. You know, like
Excellent.
the ones that you like sit
I
on
know,
and
no,
like
no,
cut the grass.
yeah.
We set up a campaign to try and like sell those and things, and that was a work to some extent, not very well, but you know, because I don't think people convert that much online for those. But those kinds of niches, actually, if you have your own business or you build into those e-commerce things, the competition is so weak that if you can be the number one brand pretty
Yeah.
easily
Mm.
and just take over if you know what you're doing.
But I think this is a very good idea to test out the things. This is like low cost testing, you
Mm-hmm.
would say. Okay, moving on. Do you think Parasite SEO can be a stable thing if we are talking about a niche like casino, or maybe a very competitive niche where we can maybe test out using casino? Maybe like in casino there are multiple things we can work on. Maybe slots, maybe brand, anything, right? Do you think casino can be done via Parasite SEO?
100%, I've seen it, right?
Okay.
And especially if you start going into niches, grey niches like Indonesia or
Mm,
something like
mm,
that,
mm, mm,
a lot of it is UGC or EDU and
mm.
Gov Parasite actually right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So there's a ton of Indonesian government and educational websites that are being used for Casino Parasite. And then there's also Hey Me. Do you know Hey Me, the
Okay.
app? It's
Mhm.
like a messaging link app thing.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I know about it.
so
Yes.
that's actually being used as a massive parasite right now in
Oh,
Indonesia.
really?
Yeah, I've seen their pages, 3 of their pages ranked in the top 10 for one casino term in Indonesia before.
In the last year in the conference, there was a
Mhm.
guy who was telling me about this.
Yeah,
Yeah, hit me that this can be used, and
yeah.
we thought, okay, let's see, and we did not take action on
No, it
this, and
works very
now I'm
well. Yeah,
hearing it from you.
yeah. It works very very well in Indonesia specifically.
There was a black hat event last time in the Chiang Mai conference, and this is a Chinese guy. So that guy told me specifically that, see, this is working,
Hmm.
and we are using it for. So I thought, okay, let's give it a try, and I skipped that.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
today I'm hearing it from you.
yeah. No,
That's
it works
crazy.
very well.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. Okay. So in Parasite SEO, we've talked about like we can work on casino niches, we can work in niches to test out the things. What do you think is the best way to find out the latest parasites which are working? Because I think this is also a job here that you need to find out that this is gone, like Outlook is gone, like you cannot make.
Well, we built a tool, so you can use parasiteseo.com for it if you want
Okay.
to be fair.
Okay.
And we just released Parasite SEO 2.0. So it has its own agent built into an AI agent that will find parasites for you and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, we went pretty deep with it.
You're
But
going all in.
yeah, exactly. But I always recommend that you do your own SERP analysis, right? Find what's ranking for keywords that you're looking for.
Mhm.
And then also just find what's ranking in the geo that you're in.
Mhm.
And then try and use that for other niches and things
Okay.
repeatedly. So because that tends to work the best.
Okay. Can you tell me about parasiteseo.com more, and how is that working? What?
Yeah. So it's James Oliver, myself, and
Mhm.
Alex. So
Okay.
Alex is the developer.
Okay.
James is the data,
Mhm.
and I'm the marketing, basically.
Best combination.
Yeah, for him. So James, I've helped obviously in the initial process, but James created the database.
Mhm.
It's about 2,000 or 2,500 paid parasites
Mhm.
internationally, and then about 16,000 free parasites.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and we scrape somewhere in the region of a couple million keywords
Mhm.
every month. First of all, actually, step one, we categorize the keywords that we're scraping.
Mhm.
So we know that best CRM software is about software, technology, business, and management, right? 4
Uh-huh.
categories that we can
Mhm.
use there.
Mhm.
And we normally do a primary category and a subcategory as the main 2, but then we have 2 other subcategories that's used as well.
Mhm.
We scrape those keywords, we then have the database, and we compare how well those sites are ranking for those different query categories.
All the permutation combinations.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know that this, LAtimes.com ranks really well for cryptocurrency. As an example, that's not the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. This.
right?
I
Yeah.
got it. I got it. Yeah.
So we can, whenever you do your own search, you can search not only the keyword, but you can search this down to the city or the town that you want to do if you want to do local SEO.
Wow.
And it allows you it will then come back with the SERP currently and all the current ranking positions. with parasites that are currently ranking already in the SERP, and then it will come back with a list of recommendations for you. And it depends on what subscription level you're on, right? If you're on the maximum level, it will give you 25 free and paid parasites that you can use in that niche. And and it also gives you a planner, an agent. It has a rank tracker. So the rank tracker actually notifies you whenever new parasites come into your SERP and things like that. So you can just get updates every single day whenever you get parasites into the SERP and things like that. You know, the tool costs between like $39 and like $250 a month.
That's it.
Yeah, for the entire tool. We've had some people pay for the top package, $250 a month, and they're like, you need to charge more for this because I've just made one campaign that's made $20,000. So what the hell, you know? Yeah. But the campaign will do, the AI agent now will do pretty much everything for you. The keyword research plan, the content brief, it can even write the content for you if you really want.
So you're also including that now?
Yes, so that is one of our tool frames as well. Yeah, frameworks.
I would like to sign up on this.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I did not know, and I want to sign.
Yep.
Because it's very hard for us. Actually, I'm into local SEO, and we do a lot of pay-per-call.
Yep.
And we make a lot of websites. We invest huge amount of money on expired domains. Make websites on plumbing, HVAC, roofers, and some other niches which I cannot disclose. And So we've got to build these websites, and it's all about cities and geos, zip codes, right? So I think this is something which we can really save our time.
Yeah.
And just obviously the testing part, we will think it of as testing, but I think this is going to be the mainstream.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, big time.
Perfect. Because the main thing which I have faced in Parasite SEO is that I have in the past found golden spots, the sweet spots. The problem is that it goes away.
Yep.
That's the main problem.
Updates, changes, algorithm.
The website stops to rank. Let's take an example of MarketWatch. I spammed it a lot.
Yep.
So in MarketWatch, if now it's not working, right? Basically, that's the main problem so for us, it was like, let's do the stable thing. Let's make the websites. Why Parasite was not stable for us? Because of this reason, because we were not able to find new opportunities.
So we also have a leaderboard, which will say for, let's say, finance United States, it will come back with the top 10 parasites for finance United States right now. And we also track if they move up or down, depending on the last 30 days. So it will tell you if this site has gone down 27% in the last days, that's 27% of its visibility, right? Wow. So it's a big drop off. But if it's come up 64%, then that's probably a parasite that you wanted to abuse over and over again until it stops ranking. You know?
Yes. So that's the best thing. I think you've been very smart here that you've actually, you've put niche into it.
Yep.
So the niche thing is actually helping. So I know that if I'm into finance or mortgage, then these are the ones. And geo also, right? Exactly. So the combination of geo, the niche, everything is there.
We're trying to create a specific LLM friendly option inside of it. So if you log into Parasite SEO, it has modes. Okay. So it will have, you can just have normal mode, which is just Parasite pages, but we have video mode. So you can video Parasite. We're trying to do a LLM mode so that you can do AI Parasite and things like that. So
it looks like a very long-term plan.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. That's amazing. I'm so excited. So now let's talk about how did this idea come to you?
Actually, the parasiteseo.com, it wasn't my idea, full transparency. Alex and James approached me and said, we just bought the domain name, we're going to build it. We'd love to work with you on it. Then we put the actual ideas together, right? We were like, we need this, we need this, we need this and things and stuff. And then we built the first iteration. But full transparency, the first iteration was not up to scratch for what we needed, right? We learned so many lessons from the first iteration because we had so many people start using the tool and they're like, actually, we need this, we need that, and we didn't think about all of these additional things because we're so used to doing Parasite that those things are kind of covered in our SOPs and processes already. So we had to go and do this massive overhaul and update and get Parasite SEO 2.0 out. And now I'm proud to be talking about it.
Let me ask you one thing. Maybe it's in your plan, or maybe you might have already done this. Full disclaimer, I've not used this tool. I've heard this tool, parasiteseo.com. I've heard this first time in the conversation. It's not pre-decided, but that's good. So that's more candid now. Alright, time for a sponsor break. This episode is proudly sponsored by Kings Digital, the marketing agency that I, your host, Gundeep Singh Grover, co-founded. At Kings Digital, we specialize into scaling businesses, optimizing growth strategies, and turning your ideas into brands that people can't stop talking about. You might be thinking self-promotion in your own podcast? Well, that's quite bold. That's because that's exactly what we do for our client. bold strategies that bring results. So if you're a business owner or an agency who wants to level up your marketing, your processes, whether it's SEO, ads, social media, performance marketing, we're building a killer brand presence for you. If you want us to audit your website or your ads campaign, just fill up the form below. We will get back to you with a full-blown SEO audit, a complete 6 to 12 months SEO roadmap tailored to your business, and a step-by-step video walkthrough breaking down exactly how to fix and scale your organic traffic. This isn't some cookie-cutter checklist. Trust me, our team spends an entire day crafting this report. Trust me, if we're good enough to sponsor ourselves, we're probably good enough to help you crush your goals. Alright, that's enough of us now. Now let's get back to the show. Tell me, automations. So if I want to go full spam mode, okay?
Yeah.
There are tools. There are guys in India, my friends, who've built tools like a very smaller version of what you're doing. App called Netify. It's a Parasite, right?
Yeah.
They've built maybe a software kind of thing where you can make multiple pages in bulk, like 100, 200, 500 pages on Netify in bulk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's you just like 5 clicks and you get that. So are you thinking of doing something here like this?
The only problem is there's just too many parasites to kind of format it for. If you know what I mean.
They used to
exactly
make the whole design. Yeah.
And originally we were like, let's make a Chrome extension or something where you can like one click upload AI articles from the tool or something. But we realized that actually it's just going to break on 99% of the sites because the sites change all the time and UX change and UI change and things, right? And the current AI agents that use browsers aren't good enough to consistently do it, or at least not fast enough at least.
So you've given me the hint.
Yeah, but we still use automated content and pipelines and things like that to just mass create pages.
So you given the whole roadmap actually. So you're saying so now I get it. So we can use the tool for maybe getting all the R&D done, and then we can use the AI agents. Like in the old days, it was Selenium, right?
Yeah. So the AI agent can even plan. Like it will tell you should prioritize this site for the main keyword, this site for the long tail, this site for this query, right? And it will try and give you an actual plan with the content briefs and everything for each one.
So we just have to replicate it and multiply it into 10, 20, 30, 40 times. And that can be done via another automation or something, which we can build, or maybe we can plan something small.
And you get PDF reports of everything as well. So you can download and export everything, or Excel sheets of the sites and things like that.
That's very good. That's very good. Fair point that you cannot build automation uploading because the main USP you have is that you are updated with the parasites.
Yeah.
So you cannot just make a thing for a specific thing, and because it can be gone in the next 2 weeks. There's no point, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's it. So and with the AI agents and with all this coming up, I think this is the best kind of combination. If you would have done this like 1 year or 2 years before, it would be early of the time. It could not work.
100%. Yeah.
Right. This is the right time. Got it. And is there any free trial for this?
No, because we don't want to give away the parasites, right? Like,
yes. Got it. Okay. So the minimum account is quite low, right?
It's $39 a month.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can get the lifetime accounts for cheaper on Black Friday. So,
Correct. Makes sense. And if anything you want to tell, what's the roadmap? Any future thing?
Google are listening. We're trying to at the moment make it so that they can't reverse engineer as easily and things. And to be fair, we're trying to expand our database. That's the main thing.
Yes.
Currently, we have 2,500 paid sites, 16,000 free sites. That's a lot of sites, but we want to try and get the paid to about 9,000 because there's so many other sites for different geos, and we've only covered about 18 countries. So there's we've got the US, France, Spain, things like that, right?
A lot. Tier 1.
Yeah, exactly. Tier 1, half of the tier 2 kind of things, right? But we don't have a lot of the other countries where a lot of the markets are growing. So we just added Brazil, for example, right? A lot of those, they just made iGaming legal this year.
Exactly.
Stuff. So there's a bunch of things like that, which we're trying to expand because it just gives people more power, more ability, more options, more data.
Got it. And it makes sense. Makes sense. You mentioned in the initial things that in the past that there are edu domains people worked on. There were university domains. There were gov domains, right? Like there are two ways of doing. One is that the legal way that you can go and put the content, right?
Yeah.
But there's another way that you can use the save links and stuff, right?
And things like that.
Yeah. So do you know anything about it? Do you want to discuss this here?
I know some stuff about it, right? But I don't actually do it. I try and stay away from all that stuff anymore. I think it's just easier to use other parasites and stuff anyway. And it's not my ball game, right? Most of that will be grey area. Markets.
That's risky.
Yeah, so the reason they're doing it mostly is because it's grey area markets. And let's say Indonesia, Australia, things like that, they ban their gambling commission. They will ban your IP address and your domain name and stuff like that, right?
They cannot ban the GOV domain.
They cannot ban the edu domain. They cannot ban the exactly. So that's why they're doing it.
Okay. Yeah. People just want to make money. But this is crazy thirst, I think. This.
Yeah, 100%. It's greed is a powerful thing,
Exactly. True. But when you do it the right way, but the parasite way, that's no problem, right?
Well, so no, because it's not illegal unless you're. So obviously, if you're in Indonesia and you're promoting gambling on a parasite, that's illegal. The promotion of the gambling, right? The building a parasite isn't.
It's
illegal.
Not illegal.
Exactly.
Yes. So that's a blind spot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to know. And we've given you a lot of hints for the audience. It's on you now. I'm into real estate. I am into SEO for all these companies, real estate and stuff. And I'm also into local. Local is the main thing I do, right? I want to rank a plumbing website in California state. Okay, maybe San Diego. So what are my first steps when I want to do it on Parasite? What are my first 3 steps and what's the process?
The first thing is you have to split the queries into 3 buckets.
Okay.
So the first one is that you split it into map pack bucket, which means it shows the map pack only, right? The first thing that you see is the map pack when you do the query. The second one is just organic. It just shows the organic results. And the third one is AO reviews now.
Oh,
right?
yes.
That wasn't there before.
Okay.
Then once you know your different 3 queries, which target are we going to go for? So with map pack, you can't really use Parasite's target map pack, unfortunately, because you need your own GMB, right? With AO views, very easy because you can just manipulate the AO overview with Parasite pages. And
yes.
Yep, it's really easy to do.
Yes.
And
because they have the power.
Exactly, yes. The power, and it's consensus building and stuff like that, right? You can just do the same content, AI edited and things over and over again, right?
Okay.
And generally speaking, local SERPs have little information competition. So the AOV is trying to source information, and local SERPs don't actually have that much information in them normally, right? If anything, like the plumber's website has 300 words on it sometimes, right? So when you're trying to do that, that's easy. Source consensus. When you're trying to rank for the natural queries, it depends what's ranking number 1, right? Is it Yelp? Is it a local plumber's website? Is it, TripAdvisor? What's ranking there? Smaller the site and the less SEO work has been done, the easier it is, right? The older that domain gets, the harder it becomes. Because if it's been there for 20 years, you've got to tell Google you're going to place the site that's fucking been there for 20 years, right?
Yes.
They're not going to do that. So there's only really these 2 options, which are the AO views and the natural linking. And this one requires just for trying to get number 1, that requires high quality work where you're trying to create the number 1 page. The AO views, that's lower quality work where you're just trying to spam consensus and trying to rank multiple pages in the top 100 so that the AO view sources multiple of them. And because you're sourcing multiple of them, it's reinforcing the same entities over and over again from your different pages, which generally means that AI will force those to the top.
Exactly. Perfect. Do you think that this is the right way that we make parasites and we power them up with spammy links or do a lot of spam on that?
I don't know, because it depends what your parasite's linking to, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I link directly to my own website through the parasite page. Okay. In that instance, case, I would not spam the tier 1. Exactly.
Yeah. But if it's just to rank the parasite.
Exactly, for 100%, right? We'll just hit it with some spam links, some social signals, some user engagement signals, CTR manipulation, whatever works. Whatever's also the highest ROI. So as an example, right, if I'm trying to rank for like casino terms, I probably have a budget to throw maybe $10,000 at that page. But if I'm trying to rank for a knitting guide, I probably have $10 to throw at that page, So it's very niche dependent on what I'm using to power up that page.
With links, the ranking effects.
Giving a high authority page more authority is just going to increase its rank, right?
And spam works. The old techniques from that scrape box and all that.
GSA blasts, all that kind of stuff.
Works.
A lot of the time,
Oh, finally I can use it.
A lot of the time now, bear in mind that sometimes we just pay the site to internally link pages with high RD to our Parasite page. And then that saves linking campaigns, everything else. We just send them an extra $200. their, one of their top 10 best links by page in Ahrefs or whatever, it links to our page, and suddenly our page goes number one.
Yes, that's when we're linking to our website.
Yeah.
As per my strategy, what I can do is maybe finalize that these are the, like, I think your tool helps with that. You just said that these are the like top tier parasites I would make to rank, and these are these tier of parasites I would make to link to my website. So these would rank, and I would spam them with the power, and these would be good DR and maybe good authority, and this would link to my website to power up my website.
Yeah, exactly.
By this, we can also, I think, manipulate the DR of our websites.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
of course. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a website that you're trying to sell links from, just put a few Parasite pages at it, and you'll go up.
A lot of Indians, a lot of Pakistanis, a lot of Bangladeshis, and a lot of Sri Lankan SEOs are going to love this.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Dear sir, we have website to link. Like that. Okay.
DR boosting.
Okay. Can we use Parasite SEO for ORM management? Like if there's a negative PR for one of my clients, it's an actual case study. I cannot disclose the client due to the NDA, but it's a big client, and they have a lot of negative news websites mentioning about, like, good news website mentioning about them. Just something happened. Okay, so now I think, but we can do something with Parasite.
So we use Parasite for ORM.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Inside ParasiteSEO.com. Yeah. So I think that answers your question. But we have a couple clients already that we've done Parasite SEO ORM campaigns for, and they're normally big US clients that have had problems with like the FDA or something like that, or bankruptcy or something. They'll pay $25,000 a month to get that stuff removed. And they'll pay that ongoing, like to keep bearing whatever's happening. Like,
so the better way is to rank our websites over there. Can you explain your ORM mode more? What are the features and what happens in that? Yeah,
so majority of the time, it's because the company or the person is having that negative press. Like that.
In our case, the same thing that's happening with us.
Exactly. We've had clients we've turned down before with this because they've killed people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they want us to cover up that they've killed like 40 people or something like that.
Okay.
Like seriously, And I think that's like one step too far.
That's too far.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's your job.
Yeah, exactly. So we're stuff like that is like the extreme. But you will have some stuff where the CEO of this company, he went bankrupt a few years ago, but this is his new venture and it's actually going really well. But that stuff keeps on coming up, and so it's stopping investors from investing. You have stuff that, things get recalled because of a problem, and that problem, it didn't hurt anybody, kill anybody, whatever, but having product recall on your homepage for an e-commerce site, on the first page for your SERP is really bad for your reputation.
Exactly.
So stuff like that is just those companies are paying us to use Parasite pages to rank. A lot of the time it's press releases, it's profiles that they didn't have before, like even things like Crunchbase and stuff. That Crunchbase recently got hit, to be fair, but even profiles like that, Reddit profiles, TikTok profiles, Twitch profiles, even things like that, they can rank really, really well for companies' brand names, and you can use the company's website to link to those names.
Oh yes,
part of
it can be two-way, right?
Yep, exactly. So, and a lot of the time you can just use like footer links and things like that to link to the social profile with an icon and things like that.
And then that's more authentic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right,
but you're still powering it up, right?
That's a very good idea.
Yeah. Well, we sell probably upwards of $80,000-$90,000 a month of our own services doing this exactly for them.
As me, I'm a complete Indian businessman. So now I can see money. So for me, I can just use your tool, ParasiteSEO.com. I can use the ORM section, and I can maybe...
The AI agent will plan your entire campaign for you, and then you just go and sell that for $25,000 a month.
Exactly. Now it makes sense to me. Perfect. And again, it's no promotion. I've taken no money from him.
No.
You can see my pockets are empty. It may be filled after the podcast is released, when you buy it. and of course, when I sell it to the clients. But this is a good thing. I think this is a win-win situation. Very good. Now, let's talk about another case about app installs. I'm an investor in the app. I think I can use that here as well. So it's about screen time control, screen time monitoring. And it's a very competitive scenario there.
Big time, yeah.
So if we are able to rank for such queries, I think Parasite, it's easier, and then we can just make versus articles. This headspace versus freedom, right? These are two good big, and these are our competition. And for example, these kinds of apps, we can maybe versus articles, top 10 art. So we can do listicles, right? We can we can write such article. We are top 10 apps for this. Top 10 this, top 10
Yeah, you can use
this.
Parasite for loads of stuff. And you don't have to even link things. Like, you know what I mean? You can just have things ranking and stuff.
As a normal user, not SEOs, not us, but as a normal user, there's one unspoken benefit to Parasite, which I can now understand, is that when someone is searching as a user and he sees that there's a big website, people was like, oh, Outlook India is ranking, so there's an authority to it, right? Now, for example, Twitch is ranking, so people has kind of a trust. Obviously we are putting something irrelevant on Twitch, but that's okay. But considering that also plays as a user's mind. If you see that it's a user's perspective, that okay, the first of all, it's ranking, second, it's a big website, third, it could be authentic. So if you think about that, the conversion can be, I think, higher on Parasite sometimes.
It depends on the parasite, right?
Because
some parasites you can't do like CTAs properly on and things like that. Whereas other parasites, like as an example, if I was doing something for men's healthcare and I put it on Men's Journal with a really good CTA, that would probably get a lot higher conversion rate than my own, Charles's medical blog for men.com.
Well, that's a very good example. Yes, that's what I was saying. That your niche, and if that matches with your parasite, you have that kind of golden ratio, it would, I think, really make sense.
And if the parasite gets more traffic than your site can get, it's always going to have more conversions anyways.
Exactly. Now let's talk about leadership and how you've been running all this. So how is the setup? Do you work? Are you a solo guy? Do you work with a team? Do you have a hierarchy system? Do you have a team in Thailand? What is it?
So PressWiz, I'm CMO of, and then we have CEO, COO, Chief Growth Officer as well, and things like that. CFO as well. So that's a whole team. But when it comes to just my own business, it's just me and Yudish. So I have Yudish has been my employee and he's now my business partner as well, so he's not even my employee anymore, for 11 years or something like that. Wow. So I hired him to make my logo. To make a logo about 11 years ago. And then he dropped out of university to work for me. So it's just Yudish doing a lot of things. Like he's a designer, developer, SEO, CRO, all kind of wrapped into one. Wow. So I pay him very well. But he then also manages, if we have a specific project which requires contractors or VAs, he'll manage them for me as well. I don't need to do any of that stuff as well. And then when it comes to PressWiz, I'm not a good CEO, right? I don't like managing people. I tend to blow up people sometimes, to be fair. Especially if I tell them the same thing 3 times and they still do it wrong. That does not work in my head very well. And I tend to also not be good at kind of operations on a grander scale, right? So I always try and find business partners who are good at what I'm not good at. So I'm good at marketing, I'm good at growth, I'm good at being able to build brands and build companies and get traffic quickly and make that traffic convert, right? I don't like the rest of the stuff. So I'm just trying to focus myself on that these days. And it took me a long time to learn that. Like I ran my own companies as CEO for a long time. And now even Charles Floate Training, which is my own name, I'm not even CEO of that anymore. Yudish is now CEO, right? Amazing, so I've literally replaced myself in all the roles that I hated the most. And I am now succeeding far more than I was previously. So
that's true. That's even the case with me.
Amazing.
When you stop doing everything, you cannot do everything. When you start, I was wearing many hats, like managing this, finances, this, that, sales.
You're going to forget something.
I have freed up my space and we make more money.
Exactly.
We focus on a few things. We do it well and it works like magic.
Exactly.
Of course, right? So I get it. Okay. So what's your biggest lesson with PressWiz? Something you was really doing wrong and then you kind of get to know, I need to fix. What was that?
Scaling the outreach. So initially we thought, okay, do you know what? We can just do customer outreach campaigns for clients, and then we'll add sites to the marketplace as it goes. We initially, I think we launched with about 18,000 sites in the marketplace. We've doubled that to like 32,000 or something, or 35,000 maybe. And we have private inventory as well. We didn't realize how many people just want options. So they just want to have 100 different options when they do a filter search in the marketplace to get back, right? So we've converted our initial outreach, and we've invested very, very heavily into a custom outreach solution. We've only launched it this month. So before we were using Pitchbox, right? We were using Pitchbox like a lot of companies were.
Yes.
But it's limited.
Yes.
And so we were limited to sending around 200,000 emails a month. The custom solution comes online, we're immediately now sending 500,000 emails a month.
Oh, wow.
And we're aiming to get that to 2.5 million a month, right, next year.
Wow.
And that will hopefully allow us to add 30,000 sites a month to our inventory, right? Not have 30,000 sites in the inventory right now. So,
and this is not Presswiz, right?
Yes, yeah. So that was my number one thing, thinking that clients will just buy the highest authority sites and that's it. No, they want options. They want as many different sites as possible. They want to see really they want a page level for the exact topic they want about, right, for niche edits and things like that. So they just want options and scalability. And so that's what we really spent a lot of time investing into, and that's what's paying off now in dividends.
I can see some similarity between the way you've thought of Presswiz and Parasite SEO.com.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. And Presswiz was even thinking about acquiring Parasite SEO at one point and things and stuff. So it's a lot of crossover. It's kind
of the ops planning is similar, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of crossover, and it will always move towards being similar in the sense that a lot of people who are building Parasite pages or using Parasite SEO won't want to do the outreach themselves to the website. If it's available for $500 on the marketplace, they'll just go buy it for $500 on the marketplace, because it's and then it'll be live tomorrow.
Yes,
they don't have to wait for emails back and forth, download sponsored kits, and try and bribe them into doing this and that and things. Like, we've already got the relationship, just sort of.
Yes. And how is the pricing for this works?
So we have a fixed markup.
Okay.
So because we don't use humans for anything really for the link building side, it's all AI. From the outreach, we have one outreach guy just running the AI software for the outreach
for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd 500,000 emails from one guy. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then when the publisher signs up to the marketplace, no humans, no nothing. The only humans are customer support agents and sales guys. That's it. And then obviously we do we have a couple of SEO people for planning. Some of our bigger casino clients want us to source the links for them.
They need the planning as well.
Exactly, yeah. So we have stuff like that, but everything else is AI. So when the link gets ordered, the AI sends an email to the publisher. The only bottleneck is the publisher, which is human, right?
Yeah.
So they have to upload the article, or they have to edit the niche edit into the article. They send the URL back. The AI puts it back into our platform, and before it sends it to the user, it will validate that the link is there. It's got the correct anchor text, the correct URL, the correct placement, the correct context, everything. Yeah. And then it will validate it's successful, and then it will send it to the customer. All is complete. Because of that system, we've been able to deliver links in 2 minutes. So somebody's made an order, the publisher's got the email, they're in their inbox, they've seen it, put it live, sent the URL back a minute later, and it's in their inbox for the client. So some clients have got links live within minutes, right? And no other agency or marketplace seems to be able to do that. And a lot of the gambling companies, they want current things. So they want to be able to promote the betting for the big football match between Arsenal and Liverpool, right? Well, you need a page about that football match. Those pages were only announced yesterday, right? Yeah. And they want a page today. Well, we scrape all of our inventory too. So we scrape every page of the niche edits providers on our website daily.
Okay.
So we scrape all of their pages every single day. So we get in trouble for some of this. Some of the publishers don't like us scraping that aggressively. But it allows us to see the pages that they put live that day. And then we have an internal search engine that allows people to go and find those pages.
And this is in Presswiz.
Yep. So you just sign up. There's the search engines in the platform. We have our own Google for niche edits.
Wow. And then you can just, I can just place a quick order and then.
Yep. And then our average delivery time is 18 hours. So that link should be live same day normally.
And if I've heard it right, the pricing is just a fixed markup.
Fixed markup, yeah. And it is niche dependent, right?
Oh, of course.
So some niches we charge more for. Gambling, crypto, finance, there's a premium, right? Other niches, home, for example, there'd just be a fixed 15% markup or something. That's like it. That. Yeah, no, maximum. So we're trying to actively undercut our competitors, to be fair. Yeah. And we've managed to do it there's 2 competitors that are cheaper than us on paper. Because to use their platform, they require you to deposit first. Oh. And they then take a 10% fee on the deposit.
Okay.
So that's how but then if you take into account that 10% fee, we're cheaper than them still. So we're still the
Perfect.
cheapest right
Very
now.
Very good. This is very good.
Yeah.
You're playing the bulk game, and then I think the Parasite
Exactly.
SEO tool is also very much complementing this.
Yes.
It's like an ecosystem you're trying to build,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Chris yesterday, Chris M. Walker, and we had a very good podcast. He was also talking about creating an ecosystem. So I was discussing with that how his different companies are, mapped up together as a user cannot go out. Similarly, I can see in your case. So that's also a learning for us that what you're building is so much entitled to each other. Like if I'm obviously taking one of your service, I would look at to the other service that, okay, I need this also as a company, as a client. If I have a client who's into, of course, real estate, so if you're doing the Parasite thing, we would also do the PR thing. Why not? Okay. And do you have the PR in the regions like the Middle East?
So we've been expanding. We target specific regions. So we have the biggest Japanese inventory in the world now. We have something like 4,500 sites for Japan, which most people don't have 400
I've
sites.
not even heard of Japanese inventory.
Exactly, yeah. So we've been targeting like Brazil as well, a couple other countries and things. We're just trying to target specific geos that work really well.
Perfect. Now let's do the rapid fire. One SEO myth that needs to die.
Keyword density, things like that, right? Like it's just nonsense. Even the tools nowadays, like Surfer and things like that, you're just clicking the entities, adding it to the.
Yes. It doesn't work.
It does work to some extent, but I could spend 5 minutes editing it myself with my SEO intuition, and I will get a hell of a lot better results than you will get spending 10 minutes clicking entities.
Correct. I got it. One underrated SEO tool right now.
SEO Talos by James Oliver, who we were talking about earlier. He's basically built a really cheap tool that augments your GSC data and analytics data. So it will store your data. Because at the moment you can only get GSC data for like the last 12 months or 18 months, something that they've actually been shortening it. His will warehouse the data, so you can actually get the data from before. And there's also a bunch of features in there as well. But it's really good. Check it out, SEO Talos.
Perfect. One AI tool you use every day.
NA10.
Oh wow. Okay. One black hat tactic that secretly becomes white hat.
Oh, I don't know. Secret. Yeah, maybe like Parasite is the white hat version of Parasite is called Barnacle SEO, right? That was coined by Will Scott, who coined it a year after Eli coined Parasite SEO. There was a lot of sites that you would build a black hat and then you would turn it white hat to flip it. So you would build it with like PBN links and things like that, and then you would remove all of them and put guest posts in, but like very white hat guest posts when it was already making money, just to sell it to investors who don't like PBNs and things like that.
So, this is crazy. I can use this. Okay. One common link building mistake.
Anchor text choices.
Okay.
Yeah. People are really bad at anchor text choices. It's not natural. It's really optimized.
There's too much focus.
They don't even look at their competitors' anchor text, and they look at their competitors, but they don't click through and look at the links. So it doesn't matter necessarily about the anchor text profile. It matters about the anchor text and where they are and what site they're on. And things
is it happening? Is the same thing is there or not? Correct. Common sense, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. One prediction for SEO in 2026.
Google will continue rolling out AI mode probably, and Parasite will continue growing.
Yes. One personal productivity hack.
I have ADHD, so this is something that really helped me. My office, I painted the back wall black, and then I changed my desk and my monitor and my mouse and keyboard to be all black. So that it basically solely focuses my attention on the screen. I have no surrounding distractions. It's like a void. Just straight into the focus, and it works amazingly. It makes my focus a lot easier.
I think that's a very good thing. Okay, one book, podcast, or anything you want to recommend to the people.
Trust Me, I'm Lying by Ryan Holiday. And then podcast wise, I watch My First Million every so often and things like that. So, Sean and
very good. One habit you're still trying to break.
Probably not going to the gym enough. I need to do more exercise. Stop sitting down all day and fucking making money.
Even okay, I just complete my steps. That's all. Okay. One word that describes the future of SEO.
Maybe optimistic.
Wow,
yeah, optimistic.
That's...
I think a lot of people are like SEO's dead. I don't think so. I think
that's now. I'm hearing for 2012.
Yeah, well, 2030. It's now estimated that SEO will over double. Exactly. So this year it's supposed to be worth 86 billion. By 2030 it's supposed to be worth 170 billion. So I'm optimistic.
Perfect. So I think that's all. Any closing thoughts for the audience? Anything you want to tell to the audience as a closing thought?
I think we went through most of the tools and stuff, a lot of different options and things. Just stick to whatever you think is going to work best for you. Test everything that you can, and don't believe everything that Google says.
Exactly. And any feedback for us? How was the podcast?
It was a really good podcast. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. Like, yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, great questions as well. Most people don't have such well organized questions.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the team.
Yeah,
Team
thank
did
you.
a really hard work. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking till the end of the conversation with us. We hope you found as much value as we did while creating it. If you enjoyed the podcast and want us to bring more such influential guests, then please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Honestly, each like and subscribe help us keep going. It keeps us motivated to make such content which is filled with insights and valuable knowledge for you. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Anything you would like to tell us about the podcast? Whom do you want to see in the next podcast? And what kind of questions do you want to ask? And hey, just don't keep the conversation with yourself. Share this podcast with at least one person, can be a friend, colleague, or a family member, or anyone you think can benefit from learning something valuable or getting a fresh perspective. After all, one conversation, one perspective can truly change someone's life. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode of the Business Playbook by Gundeep.